A very good morning and welcome to the Breakfast News on Rajya Sabha television. I'm Aishwarya Kapoor. Let us start the news bulletin with the headlines. India staunchly believes in peace and is committed to taking it forward, says Prime Minister Modi in Mann Ki Baat. Adds its efforts for peace, however, won't come at the cost of compromising self-respect and sovereignty. Prime Minister Modi inaugurates development projects worth over 7,000 crore rupees in Gujarat, including LNG terminal and state-of-the-art chocolate plant, says cooperative model a viable economic alternative to capitalist and socialist models. Prime Minister Modi to hold restricted and delegation-level talks with the Uzbekistan President Shavkat Mirziyoyev. Talks to boost bilateral strategic partnership, visiting dignitary to also meet President and Vice President. Karnataka becomes first state to give legal protection to Good Samaritans who help accident victims within first hour of the incident. President Ramnath Kovind gives assent to bill that also gives financial help to these people who help victims in a timely manner. And death toll in Indonesia's quake tsunami doubles to more than 800. Ill-equipped rescuers struggle to reach scores of trapped victims. Mass burials underway to avoid spread of disease. Indonesian Vice President says casualties could be in thousands. The top story this morning, Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Sunday inaugurated development projects worth over 7,000 crore rupees in Gujarat. In Anand, the Prime Minister inaugurated a 533 crore rupees premium chocolate plant of Amul, a nutritional food plant, and 8 crore rupees Centre of Excellence in Food Processing of the Anand Agriculture University, and a 20 crore rupees ice cream plant of the Vidya Dairy. He also launched a 1.44 crore rupees solar cooperative society of Mukuva village. And speaking at the event, the Prime Minister said that the cooperative model is a viable economic alternative to the capitalist and socialist models. He also hailed India's first Home Minister Vallabhbhai Patel, who was also the founder of the Amul Dairy Cooperative movement in Gujarat.
किसानों के सहकारिता आंदोलन से करीब 7 दशक के लगातार पुरुषार्थ का परिणाम है कि आज देश और देश के बाहर अमूल एक पहचान बन गया है, अमूल एक प्रेरणा बन गया है, अमूल एक अनिवार्यता बन गया है। सरदार साहब जैसे महापुरुषों ने उस बीज को बोया जो आज तीसरी अर्थव्यवस्था का नमूना बनकर के उभरा है, जहां न सरकार का कब्जा होगा, न धन्ना सेठों का कब्जा होगा, वो सहकारिता आंदोलन होगा और किसानों के, नागरिकों के, जनता जनार्दन के सहकारिता से अर्थव्यवस्था बनेगी, पनपेगी, बढ़ेगी और हर कोई उसका हिस्सेदार होगा।
The Prime Minister then inaugurated the Mundra LNG terminal, Anjar Mundra and the Palanpur Pali Badmer gas transmission projects, cumulatively worth 6,216 crore rupees at Anjar in Kutch district. He said that energy is essential for financial development and its paucity does not let any nation come out of poverty.
जब गुजरात की धरती से तीसरा एलएनजी टर्मिनल राष्ट्र को समर्पित हो रहा है, ये गुजरात के तीनों एलएनजी टर्मिनल हिंदुस्तान के पूर्वी छोर तक ऊर्जा पहुंचाने की अपनी जिम्मेवारी का निर्वाह करने वाले हैं। विकास के मूल में ऊर्जा अनिवार्य है।
And later, the Prime Minister was in Rajkot, where he dedicated over 600 houses built under the Pradhanmantri Awas Yojna to the people and interacted with some women beneficiaries through video conferencing. He also dedicated a museum on the life and work of Mahatma Gandhi in Rajkot.
આજના યુગની સમસ્યાઓનું સમાધાન, આજની માનવ જાતની દુવિધાને માર્ગદર્શન કોઈ એક વ્યક્તિ પાસેથી સઘળી સમસ્યાઓનું સમાધાન મળી શકે એમ હોય તો એ વ્યક્તિનું નામ છે પૂજ્ય બાપુ મહાત્મા ગાંધી.
And Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that India staunchly believes in peace, but not at the cost of self-respect and sovereignty. Now, sharing his thoughts on the 48th edition of his monthly radio program, Man Ki Baat, the Prime Minister said that Indian soldiers have made the supreme sacrifice in war, where India was not involved in any way. He added that India has never eyed someone else's territory maliciously. The Prime Minister said that India is one of the largest contributors to various United Nations peacekeeping forces, and for decades, brave Indian soldiers have played a stellar role in ensuring maintenance of world peace. He reiterated that India is proud of its forces, and the Parakram Parv, held for 3 days to mark the second anniversary of surgical strikes, is a festival of valor. He said that India will give a fitting reply to any attack on its sovereignty.
125 करोड़ देशवासियों ने पराक्रम पर्व मनाया था। हमने 2016 में हुई उस सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक को याद किया, जब हमारे सैनिकों ने हमारे राष्ट्र पर आतंकवाद की आड़ में प्रॉक्सी वॉर की धृष्टता करने वालों को मुंहतोड़ जवाब दिया था। देश में अलग अलग स्थानों पर हमारे सशस्त्र बलों ने एग्जीबिशंस लगाए, ताकि अधिक से अधिक देश के नागरिक, खासकर युवा पीढ़ी, यह जान सके कि हमारी ताकत क्या है। अब यह तय हो चुका है कि हमारे सैनिक उन सबको मुंहतोड़ जवाब देंगे जो हमारे राष्ट्र में शांति व उन्नति के माहौल को नष्ट करने का प्रयास करेंगे। हम शांति में विश्वास करते हैं और इसे बढ़ावा देने के लिए प्रतिबद्ध हैं, लेकिन सम्मान से समझौता करके और राष्ट्र की संप्रभुता की कीमत पर कतई नहीं।
The Prime Minister also spoke about the Swachh Bharat Mission and said that it has become a success story not only in India but in the whole world, and everyone is talking about this movement. He urged everyone to organize and participate in the Run for Unity on the birth anniversary of Sardar Patel on 31st of October. The Prime Minister also counted the significance of 2nd of October this year.
इस वर्ष का 2 अक्टूबर का और एक विशेष महत्व है। अब से 2 साल के लिए हम महात्मा गांधी की 150वीं जयंती के निमित्त विश्व भर में अनेक विध कार्यक्रम करने वाले हैं। महात्मा गांधी के विचार ने पूरी दुनिया को प्रेरित किया है। स्वच्छता ही सेवा एक अभियान प्रारंभ हुआ। करोड़ों लोग इस अभियान में जुड़े और मुझे भी सौभाग्य मिला कि मैं दिल्ली के अंबेडकर स्कूल में बच्चों के साथ स्वच्छता श्रमदान करूं। सभी ने बड़े पैमाने पर स्वच्छता श्रमदान किया।
And crowds thronged India Gate lawns in Delhi last evening as the 3-day Parakram Parv commemorating the second anniversary of the 2016 surgical strikes concluded. The 3-day event was organized to showcase the courage, valor and sacrifice of the Indian Armed Forces. The events highlighting the valor of the Indian Armed Forces in general and Special Forces in particular were showcased. Noted singers and military band performed at the venue as part of the cultural performances. Exhibitions included various stalls displaying equipment of the 3 military services, including ships, submarines and arms. Parakram Parv was inaugurated by Prime Minister Narendra Modi in Jodhpur on Friday. The 3-day celebrations were held in 51 cities across the country.
ये काफ़ी अच्छा प्रयास है सरकार का आर्मी को और हमारे डिफेंस फोर्सेस को समाज के बीच में लाने का।
एज ए इंडियन हमारे लिए गर्व की महसूस है कि हम दूसरे के सरहद में जाके भी हम अपने देश के लिए बदला ले सकते हैं। ये अपने आप में एक काबिले तारीफ कदम है।
हम अपने बेटे के साथ यहाँ आए हैं उसको ये सब चीज़ दिखाने के लिए कि जो आर्मी है, जो नेवी है, वो हमारे देश के लिए क्या कर रही है। एटलीस्ट उनको भी पता चले कि हम लोग कहाँ हैं, कैसे माहौल में वो लोग रहते हैं, हमारे देश की सेवा करते हैं।
मैं समझता हूँ कि मैं सिर्फ राष्ट्र नीति और सैन्य नीति देखता हूँ। एक राष्ट्र जिसने उरी हमले का बदला लिया और अपने जो 19 सिपाही हैं जिन्होंने शहादत दी उसका बदला लिया और जनता में, सेना में एक विश्वास कायम किया, उससे अच्छी बात और कुछ नहीं हो सकती थी।
And Defence Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has also said that Parakram Parv was not a matter to be ashamed of, but a festival that showcases India's determination and the valor of its soldiers.
I would in turn ask, is it something to be ashamed of? It is an act which was done in order that we are not going to accept a blatantly cowardly act. And it is a good reason why it should be remembered.
On to some other news now. United Nations Chief Antonio Guterres has described India as an important partner of the United Nations in countering terrorism and preventing violent extremism. The United Nations Secretary General has said that there are plans to step up cooperation between the two on strengthening capacity in combating terror financing. Guterres is arriving in New Delhi today on a 3-day visit to India. The UN chief emphasized that all nations must prevent and combat incitement to violence and enforce counter-terrorism measures. He added that Government of India's recent contribution to the United Nations Trust Fund for Counter-Terrorism will support the execution of capacity-building projects by the United Nations Office of Counter-Terrorism. In New Delhi, he will participate in the Mahatma Gandhi International Sanitation Convention at the Rashtrapati Bhavan Cultural Centre. And a Pakistani chopper violated the Indian airspace along the line of control in Poonch district of Jammu and Kashmir on Sunday. The army, however, said that it turned back after it was engaged by air series. Jammu-based Army PRO said that the helicopter violated the airspace around 12:10 p.m. on Sunday. Air sentries at a forward location engaged it with small arms. He said that it was most likely a civilian chopper and was flying very high. Officials said that a white helicopter crossed into the Indian airspace in Gulpur sector and it hovered over there for some time before returning back. 3 forward posts fired small arms after noticing the airspace violation. In Breakfast News, we'll take a very short break. Up next, more news ahead. Stay tuned.
Tales that inspire. Stories of social change. A salute to diversity. Promoting public discourse. Events that motivate. Inspiring the innovative spirit. Watch Rajya Sabha television documentaries.
Located in Old Goa, the Basilica of Bom Jesus is one of the oldest churches in the state. A UNESCO World Heritage Site, the Basilica holds the mortal remains of Saint Francis Xavier, a 16th century missionary and a pivotal figure in the spread of Christianity outside Europe. Bom Jesus, literally meaning good or holy Jesus, is a term often used in the countries of Portuguese colonization. The construction work on the church began in 1594 and it was consecrated in May 1605. One of the oldest churches in Goa and in India has a marble floor inlaid with precious stones and the main altar holding a large statue of Saint Ignatius of Loyola, the founder of Society of Jesus. Styled in Baroque and adorned with the figures of Christ and his apostles at the Last Supper, the altar table is used in Holy Mass. Nestled in the heart of Goa, the place is thronged by hundreds of tourists every day and is also a symbol of India's composite and secular identity.
News from Karnataka now. President Ramnath Kovind has given assent to a bill providing legal protection to the Good Samaritans in Karnataka who help accident victims with emergency medical care within the golden hour. Now with this, Karnataka has become the first state to give legal protection to Good Samaritans. The Home Ministry said that the President has given his assent to the Karnataka Good Samaritan and Medical Professional Protection and Regulation during Emergency Situations Bill 2016. Now, under the new law, the Karnataka government will provide financial help to Good Samaritans. They will be exempted from repeated attendance in courts and police stations in case attendance is mandatory. And in case attendance is mandatory, expenses of running around to courts and police stations will be taken care through the proposed Good Samaritan Fund. And on to the other big story. Uzbekistan's President Shavkat Mirziyoyev reached Delhi on Sunday on the second leg of his two-day visit to India. He was received by Union Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad. This is the first visit of President Shavkat Mirziyoyev to India. He is being accompanied by his spouse and a high-level delegation. And earlier in the day on Sunday, the visiting dignitary arrived in Agra, where he visited the Taj Mahal. The Uzbek president will be paid a guard of honor at the Rashtrapati Bhavan today, after which he will visit Rajghat and pay homage to Mahatma Gandhi. Mirziyoyev will hold delegation-level talks with Prime Minister Narendra Modi at Hyderabad House in the afternoon today. He will also meet President Ramnath Kovind, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu and External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj later. And the Indian Met Department has predicted widespread showers in Kerala today. A yellow alert has been issued in the hilly districts of Idukki and Palakkad. The Met Department has also said that there could be isolated heavy rains at several locations in the state. The water level has been rising in the Pangpa River after incessant rains in the district there. The state is still reeling under the impact of the recent floods that were worst in a century. The Finance Ministry has said that the fifth tranche of electoral bond sale will take place from today till 10th of October. Electoral bonds are being pitched as an alternative to cash donations made to political parties as part of the efforts to bring transparency in political funding. The ministry said in a statement that the State Bank of India in its the fifth phase of sale has been authorized to issue and encash electoral bonds through its 29 authorized branches. The government had notified the electoral bond scheme in January this year. As per the provisions of the scheme, electoral bonds may be purchased by a person who is a citizen of India or entities incorporated or established in India. The sale of first batch of electoral bonds took place from 1st to 10th of March this year. We'll take another very short break here. Up next, we have all the international and sports news.
Rabindranath Tagore was awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1913 for his book Gitanjali. In 1950, he composed the music and lyrics for India's national anthem, Jana Gana Mana. And when Bangladesh became independent in 1971, they chose Tagore's song, Amar Shonar Bangla, as its national anthem. Tagore's life and works have made him a cultural icon, studied the world over, even into the 21st century.
Welcome back after the break. Let's get you all the international news. First up, news from Indonesia, where the earthquake and tsunami death toll on the island of Sulawesi has surpassed 830. The number is expected to climb as the rescuers on Monday continue to sift through the destruction left by a powerful earthquake and tsunami. 2 days after a 7.5 magnitude earthquake hit the island and 3-meter high waves crashed onto its northern shore, authorities continued combing through chunks of concrete and lumber searching for survivors. The power is down in much of the area and so are mobile phone signals. Survivors of the disaster have been sleeping in the open, wary of returning to their homes. And with hospitals damaged, injured people have been treated in the open. The military has taken over the airport to fly aid in and injured people and other evacuees out. The National Disaster Agency has announced plans for mass graves, and one that was being dug on Sunday night is expected to hold at least 300 bodies. Indonesian President Joko Widodo visited the region and he urged a day and night effort to rescue survivors. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Sunday also condoled the loss of lives, saying that India stands with its maritime neighbour in this difficult hour.
Ya memang berat. Karena yang pertama di sini jalan menuju ke sini juga banyak yang terputus. Bandara juga belum berfungsi. Listrik dari 7 gardu yang hidup baru 2, yang 5 belum hidup. BBM nggak bisa menuju ke sini karena memang terhambat oleh jalan-jalan yang terputus.
News from Japan now. A powerful typhoon is battering the country, causing widespread travel disruption. Typhoon Trami made landfall on Sunday near the western city of Osaka with gusts of up to 216 kilometers per hour. Many flights and train services were cancelled as the storm moved eastwards. More than 7 lakh homes have lost power. At least 84 people suffered minor injuries. Shocking footage showed the storm flipping cars on the streets of Japan after making landfall. Terrified residents of Tokyo reported strong winds and heavy rains throughout the night. Now the city is waking up to the damage wreaked by the typhoon. More than 1.3 million people were urged to evacuate large areas of the country as the storm headed over. The typhoon comes less than a month after the country's strongest storm in 25 years hit western Japan. News from Maldives now. Former president of the country, Maumoon Abdul Gayoom, has been released on bail. Now, this comes a week after Gayoom's estranged half-brother Abdullah Yamin was defeated in a presidential election. Gayoom is the Indian Ocean Island nation's longest-serving leader. He and his legislature son were released on Sunday by the High Court in capital Malé after they filed fresh appeals against their convictions. Gayoom was arrested in the month of February along with the country's Chief Justice and another Supreme Court judge for attempting to topple Yamin, who then declared a 45-day state of emergency to block his impeachment. The High Court released Gayoom on a bail and he was also ordered not to travel abroad without its permission. Gayoom was serving a 19-month jail term for obstruction of justice and was also under trial on a terrorism charge. Sports news now. India clinched 3 medals at the Archery World Cup final in Turkey. On the concluding day on Sunday, East Indian recurve archer Deepika Kumari won a bronze medal. Deepika, who is a former world #1, defeated Germany's Lisa Unruh in a shoot-off to bag her 5th medal in 7 appearances at the tournament. Deepika had won 4 silver medals in the World Cup finals in the earlier editions. This was India's 2nd bronze medal in the competition after Abhishek Verma bagged a bronze medal in the men's compound event. Abhishek Verma had also won a silver medal in the mixed team event after teaming up with Jyoti Surekha in the tournament. Korea's Lee Yong-gyeong clinched the gold medal. And that's it from me and my team in this edition of Breakfast News. Thanks for watching.